They say the two most important days in a person's life are the day they are born and the day they find out why. But most people never find that second day. They never find out why. Not because they lack potential or talent or time, but because they settle into the illusion of safety. They mistake comfort for peace. They accept distraction as destiny. And slowly, year by year, moment by moment, they drift further from the person they were born to become. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But privilege is not guaranteed. It must be claimed. And claiming it means sacrifice. It means confrontation. It means walking into the unknown with your eyes open, knowing full well that you will be broken before you are rebuilt. It means daring to look at your own reflection not just with pride, but with truth. The truth is this: most people don't become who they're meant to be because it's easier to become someone else. Someone acceptable. Someone pleasing. Someone that makes no noise, stirs no waters, takes no risks. And in a world that teaches us to wear masks just to be loved, taking off that mask can feel like death. But it's not death. It's resurrection. We are not born complete. We are born raw, born potential. You were not meant to find yourself in the mirror, but in the fire, in the work, in the resistance. The man or woman you are meant to be isn't hiding behind comfort. They're forged in the crucible of transformation. That's the great lie of modern life, that you should feel good all the time, that ease equals success, that convenience is king. But Jung understood what most people miss. Your shadow holds your key. Your fear holds your map. Your suffering, if you walk through it with courage, is your guide. Most people run from their pain. But if you want to become who you're meant to be, you must turn and face it. Because what you repress owns you. What you deny controls you. It's the parts of yourself you don't want to look at that end up dictating your life. The unspoken wounds, the silent anger, the dreams you buried under other people's expectations. They fester in the dark until your soul begins to rot. Greatness is not born in the light. It is born in the dark, in the silence, in the lonely hours when no one is watching, when no applause is given, and when quitting feels easier than continuing. That's where the future is built. That's where destiny is carved. Look at the greats. Lincoln buried in failure and depression before rising to lead a broken nation. Edison surrounded by 1,000 failed attempts before the light finally came on. Disney bankrupted, mocked, rejected, before he painted dreams on the canvas of the world. They all walked through the fire, and they walked alone. That's another reason most people never become who they're meant to be, because they're afraid of being alone. They confuse solitude with loneliness, not realizing that solitude is sacred. It's in solitude that the soul speaks. It's in solitude that clarity is born. If you constantly fill the silence with noise, with scrolling, with shallow connections, you'll never hear the voice that matters most, your own. Mindset isn't just a word. It's your operating system. If your thoughts are rooted in scarcity, fear, and comparison, then no matter how much success you accumulate, you will always feel unworthy. Because your mind is a garden, and whatever you plant, beliefs, doubts, discipline, laziness, that's what grows. The world is not responsible for your internal environment. You are. Belief is the seed of transformation, but not belief in outcomes, not belief in luck, not belief in trends. Belief in yourself, in your calling, in the silent pull that tells you there is more. Most people don't follow that pull because it doesn't shout. It whispers, and the world is too loud. You have to get quiet enough to hear it, to hear God, to hear the deeper current beneath the surface of your ego. Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming whole, not perfect, whole, to embrace your contradictions, to integrate the parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. Insight is useless without courage. Vision is powerless without execution. You can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, go to all the seminars. But until you act, until you step into the storm and raise your eyes to the thunder, you will remain the same. Growth doesn't come from knowing. It comes from becoming. Purpose isn't found. It's built. It's crafted in the doing, not the waiting. You don't need a map. You need movement. Every step you take into the unknown writes the map behind you. And no, it won't be clear. It won't be clean. It won't always feel right. But your soul will know. You were never meant to follow a path. You were meant to blaze one. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. It's the thing that separates dreamers from doers. It's what keeps you moving when motivation dies. And motivation will die, over and over again. It's not meant to last. That's why you must be anchored in something deeper. In vision, in commitment, in identity. The real you, the you you're meant to be, doesn't negotiate with comfort. They rise regardless of feeling. They choose what's right over what's easy. Action is the antidote to fear. Fear lives in the hypothetical, in the maybe, in the what if. Action brings it into the light. And most of the time, when you shine the light of action on your fear, you realize it was never as big as it seemed. But as long as you stay still, the shadow grows. So move, even if it's small, even if it's messy, just move. Gratitude doesn't mean complacency. It doesn't mean settling. It means seeing clearly, seeing the beauty in the chaos, the lessons in the struggle, the blessings in the burden. When you anchor yourself in gratitude, you stop living like the world owes you something. You stop chasing things to fill a void and start building from fullness, from strength. Adaptability is evolution. The person you're meant to be isn't fixed. They grow, they shift, they break and rebuild. If you cling to an identity just because it once served you, you'll miss who you're becoming. Let go. Reinvent. Life is not static. Neither are you. Be willing to outgrow your old self. Be willing to let the old version of you die so the real one can live. Resilience is forged, not found. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. Through trials. Through failure. Through getting back up one more time than you fall. The people who make it aren't the ones who never broke. They're the ones who refuse to stay broken. That's the warrior spirit. Not the absence of wounds, but the refusal to be defined by them. And learning, real learning, is unlearning. It's letting go of the lies you were told, the narratives you inherited, the limits you believed were facts. You were told who to be before you ever got the chance to choose. But you can choose now. You can rewire. You can reframe. You can reclaim. Jung believed that the unconscious drives the majority of our lives, until we make it conscious. Then, and only then, do we gain our power back. So this is your call. Your reckoning. Your awakening. Not the kind that happens once and fades, but the kind that burns in your bones and rewrites the way you see yourself. You were not made to fit in. You were not made to hide. You were made to rise. And yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will cost you. But the cost of staying small is far greater than the price of becoming. Most people never become who they're meant to be. But you're not most people. You wouldn't still be listening if you were. Because deep down, you feel it. You feel that fire, the one you've tried to ignore. The one you buried under responsibility, under routine, under the expectations of who you're supposed to be. But it's still there, still burning. And it will never die, not until you answer it. That ache you feel in quiet moments, that's not emptiness. That's potential. Calling. It's not a flaw, it's a compass. You are not lost. You are being summoned. And that summons does not come in the form of comfort. Comes as disruption, as failure, as the door that closes so another can open. Sometimes it looks like heartbreak. Sometimes it looks like starting over. But it always feels like waking up. Because the life you were meant to live will not wait forever. It's waiting for you to rise. To stand in the ashes of who you were and say, enough. Enough hiding. Enough shrinking. Enough pretending to be okay with mediocrity. You were made to be a force. A movement. A storm wrapped in skin. And the world doesn't need more polished perfection. It needs more real. More raw. More brave. The kind of brave that shows up when you're tired, when you're scared, when you're alone, and still chooses to move forward. Because courage isn't loud. Courage is quiet. It's steady. It's stubborn. And the truth is, there is no guarantee. No promise that the path will be smooth or the timing perfect. But there is one certainty. If you do not try, you will never know. You will go to your grave with your music still in you. your story untold, your legacy unwritten. Don't let that happen. Not now. Not ever. You owe it to the child you once were, the one who dreamed freely, who believed in magic, who hadn't yet learned how to play small. They are still inside you, waiting to be unleashed. Become the hero they imagined. Become the warrior your soul knows you are. Not for fame, not for approval, but for the simple, sacred truth that you were meant for more. That your life matters. That your story can heal. That your becoming will inspire others to rise, too. This is your revolution. Not with noise, not with chaos, but with presence. With power. With the quiet, relentless decision to become. Most people never become who they're meant to be because they're waiting for permission. But the only one who can give you that permission is you. Because here's the truth they never told you. Destiny is not found. Destiny is forged. It's hammered in the fires of your choices, again and again, until your soul remembers its shape. You don't discover who you are, you decide. You create it in the dark, in the silence, in the sweat, in the tears, in the days when no one believes in you but God and your own stubborn will to rise. You will be misunderstood. You will be mocked. You will be called crazy, arrogant, unrealistic. Let them speak. Let them scoff. Because while they laugh, you build. While they sleep, you grind. While they stay safe, you walk through the storm. They fear failure, you become through it. They fear the unknown, you thrive in it. Because you are not here to survive this life. You are here to set it on fire. The dream in you was not planted to be admired. It was planted to grow. And growth is never silent. It stretches. It tears. It breaks and rebuilds. So let it hurt. Let it burn. Let it change you. Because becoming who you are meant to be is not some gentle unfolding. It's a battle. A sacred, brutal, beautiful war against the version of you that plays small just to be liked. Just to be safe. And here is the final truth. The one most never dare to face. No one is coming to save you. No mentor. No breakthrough. No opportunity. No applause. You are the one. You are the miracle. You are the answer to the prayer you've been whispering for years. And everything you need, every ounce of courage, every spark of genius, every drop of divine fire, it's already within you. All you have to do is unleash it. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop asking for signs. This is the sign. This moment. This breath. This decision to step out of the shadows and into the life you were born to create. Don't ask the world for permission to shine. Just shine. Burn so brightly that your light blinds every fear that ever tried to hold you back. And when the voices come, because they will, the voices that say you're not enough, you're too late, you're too broken, smile. Look them in the eye and say, watch me, because the ones who change the world are never the ones who fit in. They're the ones who refuse to be silenced. The ones who rise when others retreat. The ones who carry the torch of their own becoming through the darkest night until the dawn breaks. And when it does, when you finally stand there, not perfect but powerful, when the person you were born to be is staring back at you in the mirror, you'll know. You'll know it was worth it. All of it. The pain, the doubt, the long nights, the lonely paths, the battles no one saw. You'll know that you answered the call. And most people never become who they're meant to be. But you did.